Hello, my name is Lance Lozano and this is my World War I trench project in Minecraft. Let's get started. So first you have your no man's land. As you can see, it suffered a lot of battle damage. You have your artillery craters and you also have some debris everywhere. You also have a lot of dead trees. Then you have your frontline trench. Frontline trenches offered a lot of defensive and offensive capabilities for World War I soldiers. Soldiers could peek out of their trenches and fire at enemies that are crossing no man's land. They also had ammo shelves to store their ammunition. Soldiers also made a forward listening post. This allowed them to listen to the enemies at the other side of the no man's land. Soldiers also made dugouts. These dugouts could let them hide from mortar fire, but sometimes soldiers want to sleep in these dugouts. Soldiers also had machine guns. These machine guns were positioned on tripods and weighed from 66 to 132 pounds each. These guns could fire 400 to 600 rounds per minute. These rounds were usually fed to the gun through a belt or a metal strip. These are blockhouses, or also called pillboxes. These buildings usually had a few holes that machine guns could fire out of. A problem soldiers also had was trench foot. Trench foot was an infection caused by wet, cold, and dirty conditions. If it became too bad, it eventually led to amputation. I added these dispensers which dispensed slowness potions that represent trench foot in soldiers. You then had communication trenches. Communication trenches were used to transport soldiers to other parts of the trench. They also provided transport for other supplies like ammunition and bringing food to soldiers. Next is the support trench. The support trench is a trench that held troops that could be deployed to the frontline trench at any time. The support trench also had kitchens that could supply the frontline trench with hot food. This trench also had a medical area that allowed medics to treat injured soldiers. The support trench also had a larger, deeper dugout that served as a headquarters. I included some orders in this chest here. There's also a telephone here used to contact command. If you follow the next communication trench, then you'll get to the reserve trenches. The reserve trench is usually just used for holding a bunch of extra troops. I also put some sleeping quarters for the troops to sleep in. There's usually also some storage in the reserve trench. Here is the food storage trench area. You then also had your extra supplies area, which held stuff like ammunition and weapons. There were also artillery and tanks to help support the soldiers up front. Some artillery could shoot up to a few miles and could fire up to several rounds per minute. Usually artilleries had 6-man crews, and World War I tanks were very slow and couldn't go faster than 4 miles per hour. And if you'll excuse me, I'll get back to hunting rats. Goodbye.